if someone is starting to write a personal statement, I would like, they really need to dig deep into themselves and find something that's very unique about them.
That's very exciting. And when people reach out to you, they say, Dr. Ed, I want to work on my personal statement. I want you to help me out with your resume. What are you looking for to enhance? And when somebody tells you, Dr. Ed, I think I have a deficiency in this part of my resume, what's your advice? What's a typical example that you get regarding that concern?
Right. So one thing that I tell, especially international medical graduates, and and I can kind of relate to that, is that I believe that we are very modest. We don't like to speak out about what we have done, what we have achieved. A lot of times, if someone has written a case report, then they will say, oh, if I ask them what's your research experience, they'll say, oh, I just have a case report. And I kind of explained to them, no, that's not how you need to present yourself. You need to there's a lot of work involved in writing a case report. So you need to kind of rephrase how you're presenting all your achievements. And so, I haven't really started reviewing the personal statements because I kind of started later in the year when after ERAS opened, but I hope to do it this year, where I would like to work with applicants in refining their personal statements and ERA's resume. And few things I would suggest to applicants, again, don't be modest, don't exaggerate, but try to show the strengths of what experience you have achieved. For example, there was in a personal statement, it's kind of well known that you have to develop, it's called a hook. You need to develop a certain point that the program director is going to just recognize you. For example, the program director might say, oh, you're talking about the guy who has done, who ran, I don't know, 20 marathons, or maybe, you're the one who oh yeah, I know that person who likes to do skydiving, so you have to find a very, very unique trait that, program directors can relate to. For example, there was an observer I worked with and who shared me the personal statement, and the way it was kind of nicely written, but kind of very traditional. Hey, I studied med school and I kind of got exposed to everything, and now I'm here to apply for residency. And there was just one line there, and so this person was from Nepal, where that person, so he helped out in there was a big earthquake maybe 2 years ago, or 1.5, 2 years ago. And so I kind of explained to him that, I think that's where you should start your personal statement, because there are so few people in this world who have kind of been through that experience. So what did you do? What kind of things you saw? How did people respond in that situation? I mean, it could be like a whole personal statement just based on that. So I would hope to, I think it was kind of later in the game, so I don't think many changes were made. But, if someone is starting to write a personal statement, I would like, they really need to dig deep into themselves and find something that's very unique about them. So in this situation, like I gave you, that person would talk about, all right, this earthquake happened, and, I was called, and first I was not sure, but then, I took it as a challenge to kind of, go ahead and do this. So that kind of shows you have some kind of community service. You kind of like to help other people out, and then you worked hard. You were awake at night, helping people as best as you can. You saw a lot of emotions, a lot of emotional turmoil. So kind of, that's what program directors are looking for. That this is a person, a hardworking person who likes to help other people out and is well balanced emotionally. And so all these things can come out of just this very unique thing that happened in your life. Some people might write about being a musician, say, so you have to explain to the program director how it shaped you, how it developed the skills, and okay, I want to work hard. I'm very patient. I like to work with other team members, just like how that's how music people become musicians. You know, they have to work with other folks, and and so you have to basically show how your past experiences have made you a better physician, a very unique physician who's ready to do residency.
In my personal case, I actually, like you said, I use the hook. The hook is something attractive that obviously picks up the attention, as you just said. I use the tennis situation. I saw in
Wow.
my interview a broken racket, a Wilson racket behind his head, like right here, and I used that. I said, "Do you play tennis?"
Yeah,
Because I'm a tennis fanatic, and we just went on for the 15
exactly.
minutes of the interview. We really developed a connection over that, and you know, it something that makes you not just a piece of paper, something that connects who you are and what you want to transmit on paper, but also has to show up in the interview, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And you just you know, and I think it just shows a very unique personal side of you, and that's what the personal statement is intended for. It's not intended to like say again, you know, what your experiences are, because that's what the CV tells you. You know, that's where when you did your residency, that's what when you did this and that. But how is all these experiences helping you become a better physician? Is kind of what you're saying, like tennis or music or anything like that.